downloads for our videos can be found here. Buy your Girlguiding Cymru World Thinking Day 2023 badge while stocks last. Girlguiding Cymru, Diwrnod Meddwl y Byd, 2023. Ein byd, ein dyfodol, heddychlon. Girlguiding Cymru, World Thinking Day 2023. Our world, our peaceful future. Croeso Guides. Welcome Guides. Hiya, fi enw I yw Delyth y Draig. Hiya, my name is Delyth the Dragon.
Happy World Thinking Day from Girlguiding Cymru.
What is Thinking Day? World Thinking Day is celebrated every year on the 22nd of February by all Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. It is a day for guides all around the world to think of each other and to celebrate their guiding sisters. Every year, WAGGGS creates a challenge pack for members around the world. Visit waggs.org to download it. This year's activity pack features the story of Miku. Hello, fi enw I yw Miku. Hiya, my name is Miku. Why do we celebrate on the 22nd of February? Scouting founder Lord Robert Baden-Powell was born on February the 22nd. Lady Olive Baden-Powell, his wife, was the World Chief Guide. She was also born on the 22nd of February. The date of World Thinking Day was chosen to celebrate both their birthdays. How many countries have guides? There are 10 million members of WAGGGS worldwide, which is amazing. Guiding exists in over 150 countries worldwide. How many countries can you think of? WAGGGS. The World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts is also known as WAGGGS. WAGGGS is the largest movement dedicated to girls and young women in the entire world. And you are all part of it. There are 5 world centres. Our Chalet World Centre, Our chalet is in Switzerland. Kusafiri World Centre, Kusafiri is in Africa and it is the only world centre that moves around. Our Cabana World Centre, Our cabana is in Mexico. Pax Lodge World Centre. Pax Lodge is in London in the UK. Why not visit there when you go to London next? Sangam World Centre. Sangam is in India. Our World Thinking Day 2023 pledges. The theme for 2023 is Our World, Our Peaceful Future, the environment, peace and security.
I pledge to raise money for flamingos.
I pledge to raise money to help with world hunger.
I pledge to be kinder and continue to be kind to my friends.
I pledge to prioritise my health and well-being.
Rwy'n addo I fod yn neis I pobl sydd ddim yn cael ei ddrin yn hafal gan pobl eraill.
I promise to help animals that need help and that are in a shelter and raise money for them so they can get better homes. I pledge to help animals that need shelter.
I pledge to give homeless people money to make sure they have a good future.
I pledge to help any animal in need by providing shelter, food and water. Get more involved with the community and help when I can. I also want to become the best version of myself.
Why not make your own pledge? Here are some ideas for our world. Try to reduce plastic waste by using a reusable metal bottle. You could volunteer to clean a local park or a beach. You could save fuel by cycling or walking when you can. You could walk with a friend. Ideas for a peaceful world. Try to do something kind for somebody every single day. Why not raise money for a country in need? Visit dec.org.uk to find out how you can support people in Turkey and Syria following the devastating earthquake. Hi to our guide sisters across the world. Girl Scouts in the USA.
Happy Thinking Day to Girl Scouts in the USA.
Adventure Guides in Belgium.
Happy Thinking Day to Adventure Guides in Belgium.
Sonodea in Korea.
Happy Thinking Day to Sonodea in South Korea.
Girl Scouts in Japan.
Diwrnod meddwl hapus I Junior Girl Scouts mewn Japan.
Guides in Italy.
Happy Thinking Day to Guides in Italy.
Guides in Côte d'Ivoire.
Happy Thinking Day to Guides in Ivory Coast.
Morshidas in Egypt.
Happy Thinking Day to Morshidas in Egypt.
Happy World Thinking
Happy World Thinking Day to all our guiding sisters around the world. Activity number 1. Create your own garden. This is from the WAGGGS Challenge Pack, Activity 3, page 46. This activity is designed to utilise your creative skills to make your own garden with a selection of materials. Create your own mini garden using found objects and craft items. You can be as creative as you like. The resources list. You can pause the video now to see all the items. You can also use recycling, plastic lids, old plastic bags, foil, cardboard and paper cups. Let's make it together. Remember to pause the video when you need to.
Fill a tray up with soil.
You can make fences out of ice lollipop sticks.
You can use recycled lids as a pond.
You can use pebbles or beads or even beans as stones for your pond. Make a really good addition to your garden. You can use them for making bushes or you can use them for making trees as they're really strong and stable. Make excellent trees. You can also use them for making bushes. You can make garden paths out of wooden lollipop sticks. As you can see, these guides have made a tree, but they've used recycled paper as the top of the tree. Make sure that you can use some heavier items to keep the tree upright. You can even make characters for your garden. These guides have made a tiny little froggy friend.
We make this garden for World Thinking Day.
Frog path, and then there's frogs in the hot
It's
tub.
a garden of frogs.
Yeah, and then there's like a lake,
Yeah, with
and then
like
there's a river.
and
there's like-
bunny pea.
These guides have created a different garden. They've included a swing made out of pipe cleaners, and they've got 2 ponds in their garden. Did you know that gardening is good for your health and your mental well-being? Chat time. Chat to a friend for 1 minute about what you would have in your dream garden. Pause the video to make a garden if you wish. Activity number 2. This activity is also the Create Your Own Garden activity from WAGGGS Challenge Pack, Activity 2B, page 38. This activity is designed to utilise your creative skills to make your own origami bouquet. Origami comes from the words ori, which means folding, and kami meaning paper. Origami is a Japanese art of paper folding, which began in the 7th century when paper was introduced to Japan from China. There are 9 basic origami folds. Why not pause the video to find out what they are? You will need green and coloured paper, ruler, scissors, ribbon and a quiet place. First of all, you'll need to cut one red 12 by 12 and one green 15 by 15 centimetre piece.
First of all, measure your pieces. Next, cut out your shapes. Next, cut out your shapes. Taking the red colour piece, fold one corner to the other and flatten. Now that you've done that, unfold, turn and repeat the same step. Now when it's like this, fold it up but not all the way so it's at an angle. Now that you've done that, flip it over and tuck these corners in. Now take your green sheet of paper and fold this edge. Unfold and bring this edge to that. Now repeat that step on this side. You should have the shape that looks like a kite. Now with this, you're going to do the exact steps but with these edges. And now repeating the step before that, you bring this side in and this side in. Next step, bring this side to there. You're going to flip it round and you're going to put this in half and take out this little piece. Now bring back that one from earlier and take a small snip off the end. And now with that piece you made, you're going to insert it and now you have a tulip. Now that you have made one tulip, why not make a bunch and tie them together with some nice ribbon.
Here are some of the tulips made by Girlguiding Cardiff and East Glamorgan. Following on, find out about the Girl Scouts in Japan. They were founded in 1919. Activity number 3. This is a badge book bag activity. Did you know that globally 92 million tonnes of clothing is produced every year and less than 1% of clothing is actually recycled? To care for our planet, we need to support sustainable fashion and recycle where we can. Instead of shopping online, try to shop locally where you can. Chat time. Chat to a friend for 1 minute about why people buy fast fashion. Chat to a friend for 1 minute about the effects of fast fashion on our planet, humans and animals. You will need the following items. You can pause the video to find out exactly what you need. Let's make a bag together. Remember to pause the video when you need to for the steps. Hi and welcome to my sewing room. Today we're going to learn how to do a bit of sewing. If you have a machine, that's great. If you don't have a machine, you can also do it by hand. Today we're going to make a bag that's going to be using recycled fabric, and we're also going to use some other fabrics to make the bag. We're going to make this bag the right size for your guide badge book, and it's going to have a small little pocket in the front that you can actually add your badges to in the front. The bag is going to have a little pocket in the front as well, so that when you earn some badges, you can keep your badges safe, ready to sew on. The items that you're going to need today to make your bag are the instructions. You need page 3 and page 5. You especially need the pattern, which is very helpful. You need some scissors. You need some pins, or you need some, they're called quilting clips, and they're really helpful. So if you have some of them, they're really good. You're going to need some webbing or some ribbon for your handles. You're going to need some coordinating fabric, just any colour that's nice and bright. And you're going to need an old pair of jeans. We also need some cotton, and we also need something to cut the jeans as well. It might be a slightly stronger pair of scissors. Step number 1 is to cut out your pattern pieces. You have pattern piece A and pattern piece B. A is going to be the main part of the bag, and B is going to be the little pocket on the front. To make this item, we need to understand pattern pieces. Now, when it says fold in half, that doesn't mean to fold a piece of paper in half. It actually means to get your piece of fabric and to place your pattern piece on a fold of the fabric, so that when you cut it out, it's double the amount. So you're going to put that piece on the fold. That way it saves paper, and also it means that we can get the pattern all on one sheet. So that's what we're going to do. For doing this, we need to have one small piece in denim, one small piece in our coordinating fabric. Then we need 2 pieces of denim for the outer of the bag, and then we need 2 pieces of inner, which will again be the red fabric. And remember to cut it on the fold. To make this project, you need an old pair of jeans. You definitely shouldn't go and take a pair from somebody's wardrobe. If you have an old pair at home, that's great. If not, you can find some in charity shops. Now, with jeans, because we're cutting this on the fold, we might not be able to get the whole piece in. If that's the case, you can use a piece that's actually got a seam running down it. That is absolutely fine. It will mean that you have a seam on the front of your bag, but sometimes that can add something nice to your bag. If you are cutting on a seam, make sure that you don't do a seam that is on the going in a funny direction, otherwise your bag won't form properly. If you are cutting your bag out on a seam, you will have a seam at the front of your bag, and that is absolutely fine, but please make sure that you cut on a straight seam and not on an inside leg seam, otherwise your bag won't form properly. As you can see, I have my piece on the denim, on the fold, and I'm going to cut around it like so. Once you finish cutting everything out, you should have 6 pieces of fabric. You should have 2 inner linings, you should have 2 outer denims, you should have 1 small piece of denim for the pocket, and you should have 1 small piece of lining for your pocket. Now it's up to you whether you have your pocket as red, like me, or any other colour that you want, or whether you have the denim on the outside. Up to you. The next step that you're going to make is your pocket. So we're going to make sure that whatever the denim is that we want on the outside of the pocket, we face that inwards to the fabric. So if your fabric's got a pattern on it, make sure that the outer of the denim and the pattern touches. What we're going to do is we're going to line that up, and then we're going to pin them together. See for the next step. As you can see, I've sewn all the way around and I've left a little gap. Once you've done this, you can turn your pocket the right way around. I've used darker cotton, but if you want to use any other colour cotton, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a contrast. So I'm going to turn this pocket the right way around, and when you're doing it, you need to make sure that you put your fingers inside and push those corners out. You can also use something quite like a lollipop stick if you want to poke the corners out. See that pocket at the front, you're going to tuck the corners in, and then that should look quite smart. And what we're going to do is when we sew it onto the bag, it's going to go flat on the bag. As you can see, I've sewn the pocket on. There's space to put a badge in there, and you can see the denim on the inside. I've snipped off any loose strands, and I've made sure that I've gone extra back and forth with those ends, otherwise they will come loose. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually sew our two outer pieces together. To sew the 2 outer pieces together, you need to make sure that you've got your outer piece with the pocket on and your other outer piece, and you're going to put them together. If you put it the other way around, you will have the wrong sides showing. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up those edges to make sure that we've got the right piece all together, and we're going to try, because denim can be a little bit stretchy sometimes, so we're going to try and make sure that we match it up as much as we can, and then we're going to do the same with the pins, just every couple of inches. So once you've sewn it all up around the edges, it should be down one side, across the bottom and up, and it should look like a sack, and you should be able to turn it the right way around and have a little bag. We're going to do the next step now. The next step is to pin your inner lining. So again, we're going to pin it all the way around, across the bottom, up the sides, and we're going to make sure that the top is accessible. If you have a pattern that is one-sided, make sure that your pattern is on the inner, because your seams are going to be meeting on the inside of the bag. Again, once you've sewn all the way around, you should be able to get into the top of the bag. Make sure that you snip off any loose strands before you carry on with the next part, otherwise they can get very tangled. The next step is to decide how long you want your straps to be. I've used this webbing, which is very, very cheap. It's also very, very strong to use. I would suggest for making each strap about the same length from your thumb to halfway down your arm. And you need to make sure that both straps are the same length. The next step is to turn the bag inside out, and then you're going to put the inside of the bag inside it. Make sure that you have your outer seams facing inwards and your rough seams facing outwards. If you line up your seams, then that makes for a much neater bag. You can use quilting clips to attach the edges together. Using some chalk, you can mark where your handles are going to be on each side. So you can mark it there, and then you can put the handles inside the bag. So, now for the tricky part. You're going to put your handles inside the bag. The handles need to be pinned in between the layers, and you need to make sure that they're in the same place on each side, as you can see. What we're going to do then is we're going to sew all the way around and make sure that we catch the handles in each side, and we're going to leave a gap that's big enough to turn the bag the right way round. Once you've sewn all the way round, trapping those handles in, you should have a little gap that you've left for there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the bag the right way out. Be careful not to rip the bag, because denim is much stronger than fabric. Once you've turned it the right way round, your bag should look like this. And again, you can poke the inside to make sure that all your corners are nice and crisp. If you want, you can give it an iron at this point, just to make sure everything looks really, really nice and neat. The final step, once you've got that corner closed, is to sew all the way around just to hem the top and to close the gap. So as you can see, your bag is now finished. Make sure that when you're sewing it all the way around, you don't catch the straps together, otherwise you won't be able to use it. And it's just perfect for your guide badge book, and you can even put some badges in the front pocket. I hope you enjoy making this craft, and remember, if you need some help, just ask somebody. There are lots of YouTube tutorials online of hand sewing and also on using a sewing machine. Thank you.
Remember to care for our planet by laminating your pattern pieces so you can use them again and again. Da iawn, everybody. Well done. Thank you so much for celebrating World Thinking Day 2023 with Girlguiding Cymru. Why not check out the WAGGGS Challenge Pack for more ideas? Visit waggs.org to download it today. See you at 3 p.m. for the promise renewal. Girlguiding Cymru, World Thinking Day 2023. Girlguiding Cymru, Diwrnod, Meddwl y Byd 2023.